What's up, you guys? If you're new here, I'm Lauren, and this is Life of Lauren. And if you're a loyal subscriber, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I really love, which is things I've changed in my life to improve my life. I love videos like this. I love topics like this because I'm always trying to learn and just have more knowledge about different things, learning to be, a better person, maybe even more productive with my time, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Disclaimer, not all of this is going to be for everyone. I know everyone has their own opinions, so I just suggest that you take what you feel is most appropriate for your life and then apply it. So these are not going to be in any particular order, but the first thing I'm going to talk about that I changed in my life to improve it is I stopped listening to so much music. Not to say that music's bad, but I spend so much time driving, and I just was like, there has to be something I can do during this time to contribute to my growth as an individual. And for me, that was listening to audiobooks. I'm really not much of a reader. I don't enjoy podcasts. And I was like, oh, all these people talk about these good books that they like, and I don't like reading. I feel like I don't have time for reading, which I probably do. I just really didn't want to read. So I was like, let me try getting an audiobook and listening to that, replacing it with the time I usually spend listening to music. And I do drive a lot. So for reference, in 2 weeks of starting this kind of challenge with myself of not listening to music so much, I went through 2.5 books. And in that time, one book was just kind of about womanhood, and I'm a really nurturing person, and as women, a lot of us are. But I felt like I was able to tap into that and just learn how I can apply that to my job, to my marriage, to society, really. Just the power of being a woman and the gift of it. So that was one of the things I learned about just in that time, traveling from one place to another. The second one was about influencing people and making friends, and that book helped me again with my marriage, with my job. I work with little kids, and I felt like it even contributed to the way that I talk to them, the way I love on them, and how I can be influential just across the board. I know music it's such a beautiful gift. It's something that a lot of us love. I'm not saying cut it out entirely all the time, but if you find yourself in a rut and you're like, I don't know what I can do to get better in this particular area, take that little sacrifice of not listening to music, put on something that's going to contribute to growing yourself. The second thing that I changed in my life that I found to be really helpful and has improved it is branching out in the way that I cook. Now that sounds super simple, maybe a little bit boring, but let me elaborate on that so you can have a better understanding. So I used to be so tired of eating the same things, and I dreaded cooking because even if you like to cook, there's still those nights where you just do not want to cook. So by branching out in the way that I cook, it makes me super intentional with what I am eating. First of all, I have to go look for recipes, whether that be Pinterest, which is my favorite way to find recipes, YouTube, even just the internet, Google. You're looking up the recipe, you're taking the time to do that. You're seeing quite literally everything that goes into it. So that, first of all, is gonna give you the perspective of like, oh my gosh, 2 tablespoons of sugar just for that? I didn't know that much sugar was in it. It gives you that perspective. And say you do like the recipe, then you take the time to go buy all of the things. It just kind of builds this excitement to cook again. It makes you intentional about what you're eating. And after you put all that work into this one meal, then you're more likely to actually cook it, especially if you spent all that money. Even if it's $10, you spent the money, you took the time, now you're probably going to actually make that meal, and you're gonna feel better that you are not spending that money on other foods that you don't know what's in them. So that's what I've been doing for all 5 meals of the week. On Sunday, I sit down, I write out all the ingredients of everything I'm gonna need, and then I go buy those things, and I know Like, I'll be like, oh, cool, it's Tuesday, I'm gonna make this. Or cool, it's Wednesday, I'm gonna make this. Even I know my busiest day, I'm gonna make the quickest thing because I not only plan my day, but I also plan a quick meal according to how that day is gonna go. So everything is a process, but if you take the time beforehand to plan all of that out, you're definitely gonna thank yourself later. The third thing I wanna talk about, which I've talked about again in past videos, but I wanna kind of get more in depth and into detail on, is I stopped doing workouts I dreaded. And I know that can be a little bit controversial, kind of depends on what your goals are. But if your goal is similar to mine and you just want to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle, stop making sure that you're doing all these workouts that you're seeing girls or guys do on the internet and you're trying to incorporate that in your own routine. If your goal is to be healthy, just make sure you're staying active, but at a pace that's realistic for your life. Something that I find so humorous is that the time that I was most fit was right before my wedding. That is the most shredded I have ever been. And I was doing 20-minute arm workouts every other day. And then I was doing leg workouts. All these videos I was doing at home from YouTube. I never used more than 10 pounds. When I was my most fit, I wasn't squatting, I wasn't doing deadlifts, I wasn't lifting heavy things. Again, just 10-pound weights on each side. And that was something that really benefited my goal. The more that you find a workout or a way to stay active that benefits you, but is also something that you can look forward to, the more you're actually gonna do it and the healthier you're gonna stay. The fourth thing that I find to be beneficial, something that I've changed in my life that has really improved it, is not going to bed with a dirty kitchen. That one specifically is a big deal to me. I do try to make sure that my entire apartment, it's not a huge house, my apartment is structured and in order. And this is one of those that I say, take and choose what's realistic to your life, because again, I don't have kids, so it is more realistic. I do have more control over that than maybe a mom or a dad with multiple children or even one. I just hate that feeling of waking up to a dirty kitchen and you already feel like you're behind. You're starting your day behind. I hate that. It puts you in a negative mindset so easily, at least for me. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, well, the kitchen's dirty. I'm not gonna cook breakfast because then it's gonna contribute more to the dirtiness. And it's just this spiral effect that you have control of and that you can easily eliminate. Sometimes for me, it's laziness. Sometimes I don't clean solely because I'm lazy. Other times, like, I know I'm busy and it's hard, but I try to make that a priority. And fun fact, I took a poll on Instagram before I even was gonna make a video about this, and I asked how many people would rather go to sleep later, like have less sleep but wake up to a clean kitchen, and how many people would rather get more sleep and wake up to a dirty kitchen. And you all said that you would rather, it was like hundreds, like 600 people would rather go to sleep later, get less sleep, and wake up to a clean kitchen. And there was like 37 people who would rather go to sleep with a dirty kitchen and get more sleep. So that's really telling to how it really impacts us mentally when we don't have structure in our lives. Structure is so important, which leads me to the fifth thing I changed in my life that I would stress the most. If you're gonna take anything from this video, take this. Start preparing for your week. Something I get a lot that I really just want to talk about is people will tell me like, oh, well, you're so lucky that this happened for you and you're so lucky that that happened for you. I am really blessed, but no, I'm not necessarily lucky. I plan for it, right? So Sundays, I can look at my schedule and I know it's gonna be a good week because I prepared for a good week. Just like I know I'm gonna feel healthy at the end of the week because I made a schedule for all the healthy things I'm gonna eat. We can't be lazy, we can't not prepare for a good week and then we're like, oh, like I had a bad week, I ate bad. It's because we didn't prepare. And actually, just to put myself on the spot, last week I didn't schedule in when I was gonna work out, and I literally didn't work out the entire week, all because I was lazy last Sunday. I saw how that impacted my week. I saw how I don't feel as good and as energetic because I put off that step. And it can be time consuming, but I made sure last night, I was supposed to hang out with friends, but I knew I had a busy Sunday, so I decided to, instead of going out on Saturday, I decided to stay in, clean my house, schedule my week, get all that stuff done, do my homework, all of that, to ensure that my entire week would be something that I can be proud of. By preparing your Sunday, you're taking yourself out of this role of a character in your life and you're the director of your life instead. Nobody wants to be a character. We have control of our lives, and this is not so applicable to going through, mental stuff. I know I've been on a really low place mentally where it doesn't really matter how I prepared for my week. It was just a roller coaster of emotions despite how I prepared. But this is for those who do feel like they have the mental, capacity or the mental space right now to do those things. So prepare for your week. That is the most essential thing that I want to leave with you out of all 5 things that I did to change and improve my life. Thank you guys so much for watching. I try to make sure that every single video I post has content that's gonna benefit your life, because I'm not just here to entertain you. I wanna help contribute to the growth of your individual self. Make sure that you're hitting that notification bell so that you know every time I post. And if you're not subscribed, go subscribe, because I have a lot of content coming soon that's going to change perspectives that you have or add to your life in some shape or form. Comment if this is the kind of content you like to see in the future, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.